Okay, back at Gino's Transaxle Performance, we got everything cleaned up. And what I wanted to show you with this drum is, I don't know if you can see it or not, I'll get back of the camera. You see that little indentation on the gears? That's on the 4th gear side. And that's the kind of slider you want to use for 3rd and 4th. I know a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't matter. No, it probably doesn't. But it's a thing that another company used to preach all the time about using. And I decided I would try to use all that that I can. And this is 1st and 2nd gear hub, which I heard a guy talking about, these teeth rounding off. Well, this in here looks pretty good. It's a 2-groove type. It takes a reverse gear like this, which just reverse isn't too bad, but I have a jig set up to sharpen up these teeth a little bit, put a better angle back on them than what they were. This is the main shaft right here. This is the one that has the bearing on that usually causes a lot of trouble. I wanted to see if this was worn. Nope, that's just dirt. This shaft looks pretty good. I cleaned them all up in the machine over there, so they're turning out pretty decent. And 1st gear here looks bad. It has rounded teeth. There's a way you can make that work, but I'm not going to use that. That's 2nd gear rather, excuse me, and this is 1st gear. They're rounded too, and I'm not going to use this one. And 3rd gear is rounded also, and I'm not going to use that one. There's ways that you could use them and probably get away with it, but I'm not going to do it. This one is good. That's 4th gear. These are the fine teeth. And yes, this is the hub that we press off. And what I do is grind an angle here on both sides and weld them. And I also cut a groove across that for oiling purposes also. Now, here's the little thing that I like. I like the metal bearings. These are the plastic ones. There's nothing the matter with either one. But if you're going high performance, you want to use these. They've got more stability, and some people pull these metal, bearings out and put grease around them and pack them tight the whole way around this main shaft, or 3rd and 4th. I never done it. Do I think it makes a difference? Maybe. That's up to you. I'm not that critical. And they also make metal ones for here. But this guy ain't racing, so he's not getting metal ones. If he wanted them, he'd have told me. And I told him about it, and he didn't want to go to the expense. Okay, the pinion bearing. This is another thing. This one has some wear right in here. You can't see it, but the race is wore some. If it was mine, yes, I would replace it. He doesn't want to spend the money, so we're not going to replace it. And I heard a guy on the Samba saying about they're around $60 to $80 or something. Well, guess what? That bearing costs $100 to $100 and some dollars retail. Maybe at his cost, if he's doing that and selling them for that, he ain't making diddly squat. The days of a cheap transmission repair is over. If you can't put new stuff in and do it right, don't do it. Because it's going to fail. I've been doing this since 1968. And I'm telling you, there's no way of doing it. These trannies have been out there for over 50, 60 years. I keep preaching this. Now, I know you've heard me say it, but if you don't do it right, it's going to bite you. And you're going to blame me and go on the internet and say, Gino didn't do his work right, my tranny didn't work right, it's this and that. That's why I don't do them half. I do them right. And most of the time, we don't have trouble. But yes, even though we do them right sometimes, we'll have a problem arise. That's why I say, send it back, we'll fix it. It's a warranty on it. And I give a year warranty. I know other people give more, but I can't guarantee the parts because I only get a year's warranty out of the parts. Some of the bigger companies maybe can do it. They turn over a lot. I don't have that flow of transmissions coming and going all the time. But I try to make sure that when it comes in here once, it goes out, that it doesn't come back. And that's why I like to do things the right way. And yes, this is the synchronizer. I heard a guy talking about that too. First and second gear synchronizer, there's no difference. You can get one with more teeth on it around. They have teeth the whole way around for first gear. You don't need it anymore. They came out with this one here. It works as good on the first and second. Rancho does the same thing. I do it, and you don't have no trouble. And third and fourth is like this. That's the way it always has been. They don't have teeth the whole way around them either. And what the idea is for that synchro to do is, well, I heard a guy say line up the teeth. Well, that's partially right. What it does is break the gear. When the gear is spinning, it breaks it and helps engage the hub into the gear. It's more like a brake. That's why it's tapered there. So it breaks the gear and slows it down so it can slide into gear. That's the proper thing. If you want to get technical, and most people do, that's what the synchronizer does. It breaks the gear and lets it go in. I know you can jam it in first gear and all that. I always came to a stop before I put it in regardless. I think that's the best way to do it. It saves a lot of pain, and whatever you do with this little reverse gear is stop dead, push down, pull over, put it back, leave the clutch out slow, and sometimes you'll feel the stick going on back. That's what we call walking it in. Because sometimes they just don't go in boom like that. Some of them do, some of them don't. This is what I call walking it into reverse, and it's a good habit to get in. That gear is puny. I've seen guys rip them back and forth in the low, tear it right off. You gotta be careful with it when they got stuck. So that's my philosophy, or whatever you want to say, on the tranny part. I'll be putting this together probably tomorrow. All I have to do is just I'm going to be using a new, not a new, but a rebuilt, watch what I say, gear housing. It's pushed, and this isn't the right one either. It will be one of these. This is the old style, and it's rebushed. You can see them. I use one every time because these shafts, when you put it in there, it's dirty right now. I want to put it in the machine, but it doesn't rock and jump out of gear. That's the whole story. The machine's running now over there anyhow, parts working. What a godsend that machine is. But that's the idea of pushing because all these are magnesium. They're all war, and they'll fly out of gear. It's just as simple as that. So that's the rundown on, and I've talked about trannies umpteen times, but I know you probably get tired of it, but I try to make everything right as much as I can as I think about it. Yes, that's a shift fork. This is another 3rd and 4th shift fork. That's what that is. And this is 3rd and 4th old style shift fork. I have a new one, but it's up there somewhere. I can't get it out. The newer style has a wider gate here, and that's this hub. It's wider here, and that's what this one here goes in. If you put this one in, it would flop around, as you can see. Look at that. Ooh. So you don't want to. You want to know what's going on. You can call me anytime if you want to try rebuilding one of these. I'll be glad to help you out. And I'm going to put all metal bearings on 3rd and 4th for this gentleman. This guy's a friend of mine, and I'm doing it to help him out. And you don't realize he's getting a lot of good stuff for a good price. So anyhow, we'll be back tomorrow. I got to go in here and talk to my buddy on Skype tonight. I appreciate all those cards and letters you guys send me, all the comments. The best thing to do is call me or email me at my email, gino570d@comcast.net. I would appreciate you doing that. If you want to email me, do that. Don't email me through the tube, because I get lost sometimes on all that stuff. Talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Be relaxed. Don't be angry. Don't be mad. This world's going to hell. We'll talk to you later.